Hi everyone, this is the movie for Word Chapter 4, Pause and Practice number 4. We are beginning on page W4-242. It's the last pause and practice for the chapter, and we're continuing to work on Emma's brochure that she's creating. So in this pause and practice, we're going to put the final touches on this. So we're going to put in a couple graphics. Remember, we had downloaded them when we started this project. We're going to put the quotes here of what the clients are saying. We're going to put those in a text box and put some color around it. We're going to put Emma's name up here in a kind of a fancier format for the font. And let's see, what else are we doing? I think that's it. I think that's it. Alrighty, so let's start off. We're on page 242 of the Word chapter, and the first thing that we're going to do is put in the Placer Hills logo down here at the bottom right. So that begins by inserting. So we're going to go to the Insert tab, right? We're putting a picture in, so we'd start there. And then it's in this illustration group. We're going to do a few things here in this illustrations group. So picture would be if you have a file already created and you're going to import it. Online Pictures would allow you to use Bing or Google and try and find an online picture that you would want to include. So we're going to go ahead and do pictures because we actually have the file. I put it in my downloads folder. You would have to navigate to wherever you saved your files, and we want to find this PHRE logo, Placer Hills Real Estate logo. We're going to click on that and we're going to insert it. Okay, so it puts it wherever, right? I'm going to move it down to the bottom. See if that'll happen. Oh, and do that. I probably should have. You know what? Let me redo that. So I'm going to put my cursor at the bottom. Insert. Going to go to the bottom here, insert a picture, put it there, just so we don't have, it doesn't matter, we're going to change it anyhow, so don't freak out if you are anywhere like I am and it's all over the place. So with this logo selected, we need to change how it wraps, and so by default it's going to wrap in line with text, but we want to put it in front of text. Okay, see that? It's now allowing it to go on top of the text. So now I'm just going to put it down here. Once I change that wrapping, it allows me to move things better. With it still selected, we want to modify the height and the width of it. So we want the height to be 1.2. Mine's pretty close, 1.2. So it just changed the width just a little bit because it's set to keep the image proportional. So as you change one orientation, the other one will change to keep it from stretching or compressing in and looking out of whack. Okay, so drag the picture down here, which I already did that, and then now we want to click on picture border. So we're in this styles group now, picture border, and we're in the picture tools format, and we want to put a olive green accent 3 border. So let's try and find olive green. Okay, accent 3, so it's this one at the top. Put that border around it, and then we're going to pick this picture border again and pick the weight, and we're going to change that weight to 1.5 inches, 1.5 points, so that it's a little bit thicker line. So now we're going to position this. We dropped it here, and you know, when you're doing that, you see when you get to the green lines, it allows you to snug it into the corner of the margin. another way to position it is to use the position button. So we're going to do more layouts here. So position, more layouts. And this is going to allow us to align this or position it to a location relative to something else. In this case, it's going to be the page, right? So we want to say that we, in the horizontal, we want it to be absolutely positioned to the right of the page. Okay. In the vertical area, we want to say 7 inches, absolute position 7 below the page. So we're basing where we're putting this on the page layout. So we're saying 1/2 of an inch to the right of the page and 7 below the page. That is not right. I did that wrong. Okay, let's do this wrong. This is the wrong. Where did I get 0.5 from? This should be 8.6 because we want it over here. I'm not quite sure where I even saw that. Okay, that's my bad. Absolute position 8.6 to the right. We want it to be over there. There we go. Wow, I don't even know where I saw that. Okay, so let me go through that again since I did that poorly. In layouts, we want absolute position of 8.6 inches to the right of the page, right? So over here, and then 7 inches down from the below the page, right? So this would be like the 0, 0 spot. So this positions it that way. Okay. All right, so now we're going to put another picture in here. It's going to be end up being over here. So we want to put our cursor at kind of the end of, not kind of, at the end of the 4th item there. And we're going to do insert pictures. This time we're going to do the for sale sign, insert it. It's going to go up to the next page, next column, sorry. We're going to change the height right here, so 1.2. Make sure I actually have the right numbers there, yeah. All right, so we made it smaller and it brought it back, but look, it's messed up everything, but that's all right. We're going to fix it. So in this one, we want it to wrap square. So what square does is it wraps the text around it in a nice square fashion. The difference between square and tight is that tight allows you to put jagged text around it. It's not in a nice neat square. The text is not in a nice neat square around it. We're going to do square. And then we're going to move this. So I want to put my cursor in the middle. So I have the 4-pointed cross, and I want to put it right in the middle of the 4th numbered item. So if we take a look, I want to do it kind of just like that. There's a picture on page 243. So somewhere around there would be great. And then, let's see, maybe bring it up just a smidgen. Let me see. I'm using my up arrow keys and my right and left arrow keys to just do a minute movement, okay? And then I've got some extra spaces in there. So I turned my reveal codes on and I saw that I had some extra spaces. So I wanted to get rid of that so that my text lined back up. So if you're wrapping incorrectly, just come in here and turn that, the reveal codes, the show hide, and just look to see if you have any extra enters. Okay, so with this selected, now I want to put a caption in here, and this is a little bit weird the way that they do the caption. It's like you have to put in the default caption and then you have to edit it. You can't actually edit it when you're inserting the caption. So we're going to right click on the picture and say insert caption. And we're just going to do okay. Like you think you could change it here, but it doesn't let you. So we're going to just say okay. It's going to put figure 1 in there. Now we want to back that figure 1 out of there and say meeting your needs. Okay. Right? So it's right on there. But notice that it's two different containers, right? There's two different objects here. And what I want to do is I want to make this, well, first of all, let's center this. So I'm going to center, so it centers the text within the box. And now what I want to do is I want to group these two things together. So first of all, I have to select the two things. So select one of the objects and select the second object. And I did that by pressing my control key. Remember, that's the thing that allows you to select multiple non-adjacent or adjacent items. So with it both selected, we need to go to the Picture Format Tools tab and in the Arrange group, and what we're going to say is Group, Group. So now those two things are merged together into one object. So now if I was to move them, it's one item. Okay. And I just want to put them back. Okay, so that's cool, grouping them together, and you can do that with really any of your objects. All right, so we want to work on, oops, you know what, I'm over my time. I'm going to stop the movie here. We'll pick up at step number 7. All right, guys, thank you.